the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine returns here this weekend at Zandvoort for round number 3 of this championship, and it is going to be quite important for a few drivers here because it is absolutely torrential rain out there at Zandvoort at the moment. Air temperature 12.8, track is wet 17.5. Hello to Crash Gamer Kid. I say Oscar Piastri, and I think he's got this sport wrong here. And he's also saying, I don't know what that is. Well, let me just tell you this much. It is a feature category for Formula 1. What's good, Elizabeth? I know the deal. Oh, where is it at? It's at Zandvoort here this weekend. So it's where Formula 1 normally race. Hello, number 1. How are we all? How are we? Elizabeth, I know we made a deal, but I'm still exactly not feeling the best. So I'm trying to get better, but it will happen. I feel like I'm just all good. Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you, number 1. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Much better. I feel as if like if I stream for 4 hours, I just feel like I'll feel worse. And I've got to record a video tomorrow, so I want to feel better. I want to feel better so I can record this video tomorrow. But I'm only going to be streaming this my plan was to only stream Formula Regional for today, but yeah. How are we all though? How are we? I know it's practically been all day since I streamed, but you know, sickness comes upon me. Sickness does come upon me. So the cars head out onto the circuit now this weekend. DTM are here with the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. DTM being the main supporters. We're at the second part of hitting 100 subs. That's one of the parts. I'm going to be editing that, and then I've also got another video to record. So there's a few different things I've got to do tomorrow. So I'm going to do the second part of hitting 100 subs. Also, guys, go check that video out, and also actually hit the like button on the stream, because the more likes we get, the more people join. Yeah, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. Somehow it works like that. But yeah, these young drivers are going to be racing around this very wet Zandvoort circuit and the very cambered Zandvoort circuit here this weekend. And also for your information, Crash Gamer Kid, the Formula 1 are Canada next weekend. So Canada next weekend is when I'll be streaming Formula 1. I've got to schedule those streams as well. So yeah. But thank you guys for all the patience as well, because it's really been helpful. It's been really helpful indeed. But qualifying 1 here for FRECA, for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. They are supporting DTM this weekend. So a little bit of action has been out there on the circuit, but of course it's a very wet circuit. So there's the wet tyres are going to be needing to be used in this session to try and clean the circuit up a little bit and dry it up as well. But so the lap times will only continue to drop and improve through this session here. So the further we go on through this session is the best the circuit is going to get. Rashid Al-Heri on screen at the moment performed quite well last time out. Thanks for the shout out video. That is A-OK. That is A-OK. You shouted me out in your bloody hour and 20-minute Fortnite video, so I was like, why not do it again? I can return the favour. Yeah. Also, really good video, by the way. Crash Gamer Kid. Really good video. I really enjoyed that. I practically had that on in the background. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Rashid Al-Heri on the lap at the moment. He's personal best first and second sector. There's not going to be much improvement in the circuit at the moment, being the circuit is still quite damp. We'll see what this first lap is be. The times are just going to continue to drop as the session goes on. 1:43.7, that lap from Rashid Al-Dahiri. Kanato Lay has also just gone on top. 43.0, 2/10 faster on that lap with 11 minutes to go here. So this is, I'm guessing, what is Group A here. So if you don't know the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, be back in 5. See you in 5 minutes. Crash Gamer Kid. But if you don't know how the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine qualifying sessions work, it goes in championship order. It goes in odd numbers first. So in the championship, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, so on, goes in Group 1, and in Group 2, and then Group A is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so on. So that's how these sessions work. So if you're first in the championship, you tend to go out in the first group. Hiyu Yamakashi's on a lap at the moment, purple first sector, but that doesn't mean much in this session, being the track is only going to get better and it's going to continue to grip up throughout this session. I have not got timing this session because for some reason the website that I normally get the timings off is down for today. So Hiyu Yamakashi is on a lap at the moment. He's propelled to the first and second sector. He's flying the Japanese driver of Hiyu Yamakashi as that's Rashid Al-Dahiri who's just come back into the pits. He's flying at the moment in his time the Japanese driver of Hiyu Yamakashi as he comes around the final corner, which is the banked corner, and Hiyu Yamakashi go to the top. 1:41.772 for Hiyu Yamakashi on that lap, and the maximum speed of 224 kilometers an hour as he approached that final corner. Enzo Peugeot goes up to P3, Al-Dahiri in P4, Dorian Pan, the F1 Academy driver, in P5, just been knocked off by Belov, and Borna has also just gone up into P9 as well. De Paolo, who's our championship leader heading into this round, so this is why he's out in this first session. He's P11 at the moment, and he's on a lap. He's personal best first and second sector. See what this lap turns out to be here, but this session is bringing more excitement than what supercars have at the moment here. Hiyu Yamakashi is on a lap at the moment, purple first sector, so the track is improving. The grip is coming to them in this session, and the grip will only continue to rise through this session. Purple first sector for Hiyu Yamakashi. This is a good lap. He's cooling down the tyres with a bit of spray on the outside of the circuit down there, but apart from that, this lap seems to be pretty good. He's less than a half a tenth up through that second sector. He's purple. He's just gone a bit wide as he heads through the second lot of banked corners here. One's a bit wide coming off there, but apart from that, this lap seems a-okay. He's purple first, second sector. He uses a bit of curb before heading through the final banking, which is the fastest part of the circuit and the fastest that these cars go through the calendar. Yamakashi comes into the pits and will not improve on that lap. Akshay Bora, though, a person who is improving is Akshay Bora. He is up in that first sector and up in the second sector. He's purple first and second. We'll see what this lap is like as we take a look at a replay of why Hiyu Yamakashi came into the pit lane. Oh, that is a rattling. That has to be something wrong with the left rear suspension on that car. Akshay Bora to the line. He goes P2, 1:42.893. There by Akshay Bora. Good lap there. There's a few other people on a lap. De Paolo, our championship leader, has just moved up into P position number 4. I have also one thing I was going to do. Elizabeth, number 1. I'm going to quickly add you as moderator if YouTube allows me. Add as moderator. There we go. Standard moderator. But yeah, so there you go. That's Akshay Bora off the road. There. Just off the road there for Akshay Bora. Has he gone in the fence? close to it, but I don't think he was close enough to going into the fence there. But number one, they're mods for him because he's come to most of my streams now. So Akshay Bora is on a lap here at the moment. Personal best first sector, followed by, we're just going to see what the second sector's like here for Akshay. It is just, he's on par with Hiyu Yamakashi through that second sector. He's about 0.1 off here. So he's just about 0.1 off through that second sector. Oh, thanks for that. That is A-OK. And that's what you get for coming to my streams. There. That is A-OK. Anytime. Absolutely anytime. Akshay Bora to the line. As he crosses the line, does he go to the top? It's going to be a little bit off. It's 0.3 off. Meanwhile, Matteo De Paulo is improving on his lap. He is coming to the line and does not improve, but he goes second on that lap. 142.321. 228 kilometers an hour as he run through down that front straight. But apart from that, all these laps seem to be quite clean. Now, if you don't remember, last time out when we were at Spa, qualifying got cancelled because of quite a big incident with one of the barriers down there. I think it was Biren Bhakti who ended up in the fence at the top of the circuit. It was quite a big incident there for Biren Bhakti, who ended up cancelling qualifying and they had to go for collective tests. So that's practically the definition of what happened last time out. But apart from that, it was all good. I'm thinking about Italian F4. Because Italian F4 were at Misano last time out. I'm thinking about that. I've just got to rewind my mind back to Belgium when Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine were last racing. Matteo De Paulo is improving. The track is gripping up for everybody out there. It is purple first sector, purple second sector. Everybody at the moment seems to be heftily improving. Purple first sector, purple second sector. My phone has just died, so I'm not going to be able to read the chat. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on the chat on my screen there. So, Matteo De Paulo to the line. As he crosses the line, he will go to the top on this lap. To the top for Matteo De Paulo, 141.3. Note this down, because in this second session, when the track is better, and from 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, and 10th downwards through the sessions, those people, for example, Freddie Slater, will be able to pull some good lap times together because the track will be better. Now, we have to keep a note on what lap times happen in this session. Welcome back, Crash Gamer Kid. Enzo Deligny, as he comes to the line, what's this lap going to be for him? It is to the top, 140.5. Akshay Bora is improving as well. 2.5 minutes to go. Al Daheri moves up into P number 5. Jack Beaton and Dorian Pan is improving. Jack Beaton is going quite quick. He's up into P6 for Jack Beaton. Borgner as well in P12. He's improving. Personal best first sector. And Akshay Bora is improving as well. He's purple first and second sector by nearly half a second on this lap by Akshay Bora. This is looking quick. Here, quick indeed. Purple first sector. Someone else has just taken that. It's Enzo Deligny, who has just taken that fastest first sector of Akshay Bora. But I think we might drop into the 39s here in this session. We're only 5 seconds off the dry times for these cars. Akshay Bora to the line, 39.3. Enzo Deligny is improving as well, followed by Hiyu Yamakashi, who's really quick to that first sector by nearly half a second. The track is gripping up, and it's gripping up quite quickly as well as it continues to dry and more water gets dispersed off these tyres. Enzo Deligny improving here through those first 2 sectors. Hiyu Yamakashi is also improving. It's purple first sector for him as he makes his run around the banked section of circuits. Approach speed of nearly 200 kilometers an hour. And Enzo Deligny comes to the line. What's this lap going to be for him? He goes to the top, but I reckon Yamakoshi might beat that. 38.9 for Enzo Deligny. You've got to try and get as much time out there. Al Daheri, third, 3 PBs, but it's not good enough for the top. Yamakoshi, the Japanese driver. What can he do? Jack beaten up into P4. Yamakoshi into P2. He's only 0.3 off Enzo Deligny, who's got the fastest second and third sectors. Here, race control telling Group B drivers to be ready in their cars, because this session, once this session ends, the next session will begin. This is Group A. Here, Enzo Deligny, Akshay Bora are improving, followed by Diane Pan, who's also improving down in P8. She has gone nearly fastest first sector. She's only 0.1 off Enzo Deligny. This is going to be a good lap from Diane Pan if she can stitch it together. Akshay Bora to the line. He goes to the top of the 38.2. On that lap, Yamakoshi is also improving. Purple first sector, followed by DePaolo, personal best first and second sector. So the track is ramping up, it's gripping up, and it's drying up as well. Here, Yamakoshi comes to the first banked section of circuit, which is, when I say banked, cambered, where it's practically like a downhill run, but on a corner. Enzo Deligny, personal best first and second sector. He's just actually gone purple to the second sector. Here, Yamakoshi is improving by nearly half a second over Akshay Bora. It's going to be the person that comes to the line last that's going to get the best grip out of the circuit. Enzo Deligny to the line. It's a 37.4 from Enzo Deligny. Will that hold up though? The track is dried rapidly through this session. Here, Yamakoshi is improving. DePaolo improving. Al Daheri to P3. It is absolutely ramping up. Jack Beaton, who is also improving. Purple first sector, but can he keep it to the line? Jack Beaton doesn't improve. Here, Yamakoshi to P2. Matteo DePaolo is improving to that first sector. It's purple, and so is DePaolo. The track is really ramping up. Belov up into P7. Birimbakti in P10, who had a big crash at Spa. He's now been able to get that car repaired. Akshay Bora and DePaolo, the two battling for this top step. Here, so far, for provisional pole, it is Deligny, who is not improving. Bora and DePaolo to the line for Akshay Bora. To the top he goes, 137.3. Matteo DePaolo to the line. What's this lap going to be? He's last across the line. He doesn't improve. Does he though? Wait, does he? P3, no. Akshay Bora. What a lap, 137.4. The last to cross the line is the best of the track conditions, 137.391. What a session from the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. What a session. What a drive. There. Wow. That was quite cool to watch. As that is why... Is that Yamakoshi? Is that why he didn't end up improving? That is Yamakoshi, who went off and in the gravel, the Alpine Academy driver, getting all crossed up in the gravel, and he actually went on to slick tyres. So the track, probably not there for the slicks. That is one of the Prema cars, the ACR Sport, the Acci Sport racing driver, the Prema number 45, getting right out in the gravel and all in the dirt. Of course, the Pirelli slick tyres, they don't have those grooves on them, so you can't disperse as much water there, but a bunch of gravel now kicked out onto the circuit. And that's what happens when you go onto that slick Pirelli tyre. You tend to just get absolutely zero grip out of the tyre. So, absolutely zero is the definition for that one. There's zero grip out of that. That's just out of the bloody... That's just out of the tyre there. So, at the end of that session, Akshay Bora, 137.3 over Enzo Deligny, Matteo DePaolo, Makashi, Rashid Al Lahiri, Jack Beaton, the Aussie, down in P6, 2.5 seconds off though. Michael Bello, Kanato Lay in P8. Nando Birimbakti in P9, Dorian Pan in P10, Enzo Peugeot in P11, who was quite surprisingly quick at Spa, not able to show it this weekend. Of course, if you're watching the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, because we're on the way to 110 subs. So it'd be quite cool to hit that. Even 120 would be quite cool as well. So hit like button, because it will engage people more. It will want people to click the stream. So those 3 people that are watching, bro, hit the flipping like button. Hit it right now. The green light goes at the end of the pit lane for Group A, and that is Peugeot. They're out of his car at the end of that session. And so Peugeot out of his car for the end of that session. But Group B are now out on the circuit. This is going to be another important session because the track will be it's improved. It has. And there's a definite dry line running through the circuit here. Definitely a real big dry line running through the top part, through the bottom part of the circuit. Here's the track is drying here. 14 minutes to go in this session. This session, of course, just commencing here. So strap in. It's going to be quite a thrill ride of a qualifying session here for every one of those drivers. It's going to be quite a thriller, this session. Yeah, 13 and a half minutes to go. The Acci Sport driver, this session, I reckon it'll be the best for track conditions here, because the track will have dried out, grip levels will have come up, and there's drivers now out there on the dry tyres, on the slick Pirelli tyres here. So I reckon this session might get a little bit more interesting as we're speaking here, because there's people out there on dry tyres. Those people that were just out in that last session, there was still a lot more water on the circuit. That water's now been displaced to the outside of the circuit, meaning the track will be a little bit quicker. Now I reckon we might have a bit of a session to go by here as everybody tries to generate some temperature into their Pirelli slick tyres. This is Group B for this session. There's a definite dry line as you run through turn 4, and then what feels like the never-ending bank of turn 5. Using a bit of that ripple strip. When it's dry, you can use all that ripple strip, and it doesn't actually cost you as much time. Turn 7, running through it. Oh, car stopped. That is Nikita Bedrin in the Santalok Racing number 10 Alpine Academy driver. Nikita Bedrin, and full course yellow has been called. Now that's interesting, because I didn't think there was such a thing as full course yellows through these sorts of sessions, but there are. So full course yellow called, and that is Nikita Bedrin actually stopped on the left-hand side of the circuit. That's a problem, and the team will be watching on down there, thinking about what that could have possibly been. But full course yellow here, if you guys don't know what a full course yellow is practically where the field is slowed down, but don't have to go into the pits. So what this will do is this will give a bit more time to get tyre temperature in this. Well, they might actually have to red flag this, if anything, because that car is parked in a very dangerous position. And when there's cars heading through each and every lap, this session might have to be red flagged, if anything. Is that suspension damage on the right-hand side of that car? There you go. To answer my question, this session has been red flagged. And that's Nikita Bedrin walking away from that car. Possibly a mechanical drama, maybe a bit of damage on that car. It seemed as if there was a bit of suspension damage on the right front of that car. So I'm not sure if that car's just grounded to a halt or what, but this red flag should be quite a quick and speedy recovery, and we should be able to get back out there any moment now. Here, of course, I'll be streaming Supercars tomorrow, except I won't be streaming it for the whole day. I'll only probably be able to do qualifying, and then I'll see if I can do the top 10 shootout, but I'll definitely be able to do the top 10 the race though. So yeah, it should be quite an interesting day. And then of course I've got a public holiday on Monday, so I'm able to stream race 2 for FRECA, for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Freddie Slater has just stayed in his car. He's not worried whatsoever about anything that's happened out there. If anything, the time has stopped, so you're fine. Nikita Bedrin will be out of this session, sadly, and he will not be taking any further part through this session. He's not going to be happy with that because he had a really good chance, and in Spa he was P5, P6, he was running inside the top 10, running inside those points, those valuable points inside this championship, and he's currently sitting P4 in the championship at the moment, and that will be quite disappointing because now he'll be starting from the very back of the grid, and this session for these drivers would have been very good because there's a chance to run on the dry tyres, but it will take 80% of the session to get those tyres up to temperature. And then when you do get the tyres up to temperature, it's about putting the lap together. If you can't put the lap together, then there's a bit of a problem there, because if you can't put the lap together, then it's normally because you've bottled the lap or spun somewhere through the circuit. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, a bit of an interesting concept. It's also a trick. These conditions are quite tricky because the track is constantly drying. It's the fact of trying to keep up with the track conditions is they consistently improve, but there's no UV on the circuit either, so that's probably also making a difference with the grip level as well. But before this session, we had DTM qualifying, and I watched that session, and it was surprised that the times were just dropping and dropping because the track was just getting drier and drier. But now this session for FRECA, it's the best conditions for them. So 11.25 minutes to go through this session. Red flag, the rescue car recovering the Nikita Bedrin number 10 Alpine Academy car. He's making his way back to the pit lane. We should be back to green flag racing in about a minute or two's time, depending on how long it takes for that recovery vehicle to get back to the lane. As the fans here at Zandvoort waiting for this session to get back underway. Session will resume at 11 is in Netherlands time, so that's to be confirmed. So that's actually not confirmed at this point. So 11 o'clock Zandvoort time, Netherlands time. I'm streaming this 2 hours after it happens, so I'm going to guess that's going to be 7 p.m. my time. It's currently 9 p.m. my time. So this is happening 2 hours, 2 whole hours after it was actually streamed. So it'll be about 7 p.m. when it will have restarted. So yeah, 11.25 minutes to go. Under red flag conditions here, Nikita Bedrin was stopped on the left-hand side of the circuit. Freddie Slater waiting patiently inside his car. He'll be the Brit getting ready to head out onto the circuit. Of course, if you're enjoying, hit like button, subscribe, because it will really help out the YouTube algorithm. It will help me out as well. So yeah, there's quite a hefty tailwind. The headwind actually. Tailwind. I'm going to call that a tailwind by the way that the flag's moving. So, normally when that happens, you tend to get a little more push, and the push from the rear end of the car, meaning the car's understeering, and that will hurt them through the final corner, that banked final corner. The most banked corner we have on the calendar for FRECA, but green light is on the end of the pit lane. We're going to get this session back underway. For all these drivers, but the other thing that we'll be doing is we'll be drying the track out a bit quicker. We won't be drying it out rapidly. We'll be drying it out a bit quicker because of the wind. It's washing the top of the track out, so it'll be good. So this session, it's had time to. We've cleared the Nikita Bedrin car. We're now back for green flag here for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Of course, make sure you join me again tomorrow. I'll be live from 8 a.m. my time. For people like number one or who else? Who else is not in Australia? Who else? I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting who else is native to this stream. Who else is not Australian, more or less. If it's the way to put it, it's the way to put it. Through this session, but I'm just seeing who else. Elizabeth, as well. So those are the other people. So that's 8 a.m. my time. I'm going to guess it's about 10, 11 p.m. for Elizabeth. Not sure where number one is at the moment. But yeah, so 10 p.m. Okay, yeah. So 10 p.m. It's currently 10 past 9 p.m. for me. So yeah, so it's 10 p.m. for Elizabeth for that stream tomorrow. So make sure you join me then. Now, of course, this race actually happens 1 a.m. my time. Stuff getting up at 1 a.m. Not doing that. As much as it's handy for all my viewers that aren't from Australia, as much as it's handy for you guys, probably not going to be so much handy for me. Because it's 1 a.m. and I'm sick, so all the sleep is needed for me. All of it. Absolutely every inch of it. Freddie Slater gets his lap underway here. Freddie Slater gets his lap underway. The Brit, who is a flying little British kid. I can tell you that much. He's absolutely flying. He took the Italian F4 Championship out by storm. They called him Fast Freddy because he just won every race. Every race he went to, he practically won it. He put it on pole. He won the race. He won the weekend, and he scored the points. So that's all you could really ask for from a car like that. I'll try to come if I'm not tired and I have the motivation to come. Okay. Sounds good, Elizabeth. Sounds good. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there indeed. And I don't know why, but my screen has just... There we go. We're back. We're back. Don't worry. Nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Freddie Slater on a lap at the moment, 32.8 to the first sector, 32.9 to the second sector. This is going to be an alright lap actually. Depending on the splits. Now someone else is going a little bit faster out there, but that is to be expected. This session is going to be a lot quicker than what the other session is. Freddie Slater rounds through the final banked section of the circuit. Freddie Slater to the line. What's this lap going to be? It's going to be around the dry times. 34.7 from Freddie Slater. Fast Freddie is fast again. 34.7. What a lap from Freddie Slater. Wow. King Nakamura Berta in P2 as well, who's just moved up into P2, sorry. Pedro Claro in P3. He does not improve. What a time from Freddie Slater. Wow. That's only, what, a second off what we saw. A second, confirming. A second off what we saw in free practice and collective testing. So, what a lap. Freddie Slater still pushing on. Fast Freddie pushing like crazy. Purple first sector. King Nakamura Berta is not improving. The Japanese drivers. There's two Japanese drivers in this field. One of them being Hiyama. Oh, in the fence! Oh my god! In the fence hard. That is the number 99 Machio Racing car. That will be a red flag. By far, probably a red flag. Wow. Big hit with the wall. Red flag. Who is that? That is Al Moshri, who's in the fence. Wow. So that's the Alpine. Yeah, wow. That's big. That's a big incident. Lost the rear end, got out in the wet stuff. Bang. Bang. And at that point, there's nothing you can do about it. Giovanni Machio in the fence, the number 99. Machio Racing. Oh, he will be upset about that. Machio will not be happy about that. Freddie Slater, though. He's at the top. 1:34.7. He has a chance to put this thing on pole position. Now, by the way, that lap is 4 seconds. Sorry, 3 seconds faster. 3 whole seconds faster than what we saw in Group A. The track is improving so quickly. So quickly. So those people like Matteo De Paolo, Nikita Bedrin, all those people that went out in that first session. Nikita Bedrin is out of this session, but all those people that went out in that first session are now going to be at the back of the grid. It's just inevitable. They're going to be at the back of the grid here because the track is just going to improve and improve and improve. It's going to grip up and it's just going to feel so much better. But Freddie Slater is only 1.5 seconds off the times in collective test 1 and 2, and what we saw in free practice as well. So free practice happens on Thursday, collective tests happen on Friday, and then also followed by qualifying and the racing, so on Saturday. So big weekend, but as I said at the start of the stream, the DTM is here this weekend. The main races are DTM here, and then of course Porsches and Stadium Super Trucks as well. So wow, that's sick. Stadium Super Trucks are on Singapore. That's sick. That is sick. So a bit of cleanup going on down there. It seems as if Machio was he just dipped a wheel in the gravel, or he got out in the wet stuff on the outside of the circuit, out in the damp patches, and just lost the rear end. Right front suspension gone. If we were to talk about right front suspension arms, that suspension arm gone. It's no longer. It's not. It's just not a thing anymore. It's what I like to call it. It's oblivion. It's into oblivion. It's no longer. But yeah, it's oblivion. It's no longer. But Machio sadly out of this session and will be starting P19, something like that. I'm not sure what the maximum grid capacity. I think it's like 27. So he'll be starting 26th on the grid for race 1. Of course, this is not the only qualifying session, so don't worry. If your favourite driver is at the back of the flipping grid, it doesn't matter because there's a second qualifying session after the first race. So even if they do make their way through the grid and only get P14, it's fine because there's a second qualifying session to happen on Sunday and then followed by the race, which I'll be doing, race 2, which I'll be doing Monday 1 p.m. Sounds good. So Monday 1 p.m. That's again quick maths, like 4 a.m. for any outsider viewers that's not in Australia. Elizabeth, you can confirm that with me. I'm guessing it's about 4:30, 4 a.m. your time. Big guess, maybe 3 a.m. But yeah. So yeah. 6.5 minutes to go in this session. Red flag. There with Machio in the fence in a big way. So right front suspension arm off that car. That is what I like to call no longer. Green light at the end of the pit lane. It's time to go back once again. Racing for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Let me tell you this much, it is good to be back streaming because I feel like I haven't streamed in weeks, but it's really just been a day since I streamed. So, it's really just been a day. So it hasn't actually really been that long. Yeah, of course, if you guys are enjoying, hit like button, subscribe, because it would really help out the YouTube algorithm. Of course, you don't have to watch this stream. You don't have to. You can, of course, search up Formula Regional European Championship Alpine on YouTube, and you can watch it. You can watch it from where I'm watching it. And I'm, 42 minutes in. So if you want to go watch it, go flip and watch it. You don't have to watch this stream. You don't have to. Because you can get it on YouTube. So, yeah. Freddie Slater, the fastest lap in this session, 1:34.756 over Key Nakamura, Beretta, Claro, Gilter, Galda. They're your top 5. Now that top 5 are all in championship contention. So whoever gets pole here, and by the way, anybody will get pole within this group. From first 2/10, anybody can get pole. Enzo Ye could get pole at this point. So that's how fast the track is improving through this session. As Freddie Slater gets a massive oversteer moment as he runs through the final corner of what is turn 22 around the final corner. And Freddie Slater will start his lap. For Freddie Slater, no, it won't be the only lap, but through this session, there will be it will all be about doing laps for the next 4.5 minutes. If you can just keep doing consistent laps, lap after lap after lap, I think you should be good. You might be able to possibly get pole through this session here. If you just keep doing lap after lap after lap, the track will just continue to come to you. Freddie Slater is on a lap at the moment. He is, we're not sure what that first sector's like, but it will come to us in a minute. And it seems as if this lap is a bit of a warm-up lap for Freddie Slater, trying to get the tyres still into temperature. Oh, who's that off? That is, I think that's Giltaire off the road down there. I'm not sure, I couldn't count what corner that was there, but that's a car off the road. And I think the conditions are getting a little bit worse here. So I think it's just started to rain again. It's not helpful because the track was actually quite dry. And that is where I thought it was off the road. He's lucky to actually get out of the gravel there because those gravel tracks are quite deep because it's been raining. When it's rained, the gravel tracks get quite deep. And you're a lucky man to get out of there. Pedro Claro, lucky man to get out of that gravel track. Freddie Slater, as he comes to the line here, he will not improve. It's a 38.4. So the track, it's rained just a little bit. It's set off the track grip from what everybody else was used to. But Freddie Slater, he's just doing lap after lap here, hoping the track improves here because there could be a point in this session where the track does improve and you miss it. You miss that track improvement and you end up last because you miss it and you'll end up going into the pits and you'll be like, oh, why did the track improve so quickly? It's because it can be because of many things. Because people run out there and they tend to drive the circuit up. So if you go into the pits now, it could be over for you here. So people are just doing laps, hoping that they can try and improve their time. They'll be looking at the dash and they'll be seeing that they're not improving to this point. There was a bit of sprinkle rain, actually. I did see that on the lens during the red flag. So we'll set off the track grip a little bit. Of course, the grip is quite low at the moment. And these drivers are lucky to be actually running out there on the dry Pirelli tyres. Freddie Slater kick up a bit of water on that dry Pirelli tyre. It's okay to run through a tiny little puddle, but if you're off on the slick stuff, you're not living much longer than about 50 metres past where you actually went in the water. So you're not living past there, so it's probably not going to happen for you. Freddie Slater, as he will make his way to the line here, with a minute and a half to go, not much happening. Enzo Ye is improving through that first sector, 35.3, so the track is drying up. Now, a little bit more than what it was about a minute and a half ago, so the track massively improving. It's nearly now a second faster. So that's what happens. Like, you get a little sprinkle of water and the track drops off dramatically. And then that little sprinkle of water can go away and you can immediately find the grip again. So this might turn out to be an interesting session. Al-Moshri, he is on a lap. It's personal best first and second sector. We might see some improvements. Gerhard's up at P7. First flight into P8. And Enzo Ye is improving. What is this from Maroshi? He's 4.8 seconds off the pace, 39.605. 39.7 from the last session. Everybody at this point is... everybody from this point onwards is faster than the first session that we saw. So everybody in this session has gone faster than the first session. So it's going to be De Paolo, our championship leader, down in P16. Wow. De Paolo will be down in P16. Evan Giltaire will be down in P13. No, P11. P12 for Evan Giltaire. That is big. But Matteo De Paolo, our championship leader, down in P16. Evan Giltaire, he is on a lap in his personal best first sector, personal best second sector. What's this lap going to be from Evan Giltaire? As he will make his way to the line, get real banked in on that, get real to the left-hand side on that banked part of the circuit. Evan Giltaire to the line, P3. So the only person that's really improved. Pedro Claro to the top. Pedro Claro has gone to the top. I've just noticed that he's on pole position. Wow. Pedro Claro. What a lap. I didn't even notice that. Freddie's like fast. Freddie is not so fast no more. Funny pun there, but Freddie Slater. Wow. P2. He's been dropped off his pole position. That's what I was talking about. You leave it a minute too late, someone can beat you to your pole position. And it's Pedro Claro who did it in the end. And I think it was by 2/10. 2/10. It was by 2/10. He took that pole position. Pedro Claro, what a lap. Exactly what he needed there. Number 22, Pedro Claro. He took it by 0.0155. He took pole position. Less than half a tenth separates the top three. 33.4 plays a 33.4 plays a 33.4. Wow, that's tight between the top three. How much the track improved? And it improved by half a tenth. So fastest lap at the end of qualifying, Pedro Claro, 1:33.443 by 0.033 of a second. Epic. Cool. Amazing. At the end of that session, though, it is Pedro Claro, 1:33.444 over Freddie Slater, Evan Giltaire, Tatio Kato, Jean Nakamura-Berta, Tim Gerhards, Dion Gauda, and Yaroslav Veleslao in P8 in that Group B classification. We'll get the whole qualifying up on for you. Van Amersfoort will be getting 2 points for that pole position in the team's championship. Ricky Liu in P9, Ri Hang Ye in P10, and Al Moshi in P11. There, but Evan Giltaire, what a lap! He will be starting from pole position. Pole position. What a way to start your weekend. Exactly what you need to start your weekend. But Freddie Slater in P2 at the end of that one, the Primo Racing driver just wasn't able to get the maximum out of his car. But Pedro Claro, what a lap in the end. He did it on lap 9, 1:33.4. Let's take it up to the ACI Sport commentators.
The Dutch team, their home race, they celebrate 50 years, and that is their first pole position of the season. Can they now get their first win since 2023, where they last won here with Cas Habicourt? You'll have to join us for what could be a great story that plays out 5:45 local time here at Zandvoort. That will be race 1 for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine.